the Galactic Military Academy's training facility on Kepler 44, to be hummed with its usual controlled chaos. Drill Sergeant Vaxter, a towering Krillian with 4 arms and bioluminescent scales, stood before his newest class of cadets. His compound eyes scanned the assembled recruits' venations with their crystalline exoskeletons, Thraxians floating in their personal gravity bubbles, and one peculiar biped from a newly discovered death world called Earth. The humans stood at attention, barely reaching Vaxter's chest. Marcus Chen looked unremarkable by galactic standards. Soft skin, no natural armor, only 2 arms, and a fragile skeletal structure. The medical reports had been disturbing. His homeworld had 2G gravity, toxic oxygen levels at 21%, and was bombarded by dangerous stellar radiation. How such a species survived, let alone developed spaceflight, baffled xenobiologists across the galaxy. Cadets, Vaxter's voice boomed through his translator. You will now enter the Gauntlet Hour week-long endurance program. You will face simulated combat, environmental hazards, and psychological stress beyond your current comprehension. Most species require 3 attempts to complete this course. We expect nothing less than your absolute commitment. The other cadets exchanged nervous glances. The gauntlet was legendary, designed by military strategists from 12 different species to push recruits to their absolute limits without causing permanent harm. Environmental systems would slowly increase gravity from 6G to 9G over 7 days. Oxygen levels would fluctuate. Temperature extremes would test thermal regulation. Combat simulations would come at random intervals, allowing minimal sleep. Cadet Chen raised his hand. Sir, permission to speak? Vaxter's scales flickered yellow, the Krillian equivalent of curiosity. Granted.
Act.
The gravity setting, sir. The maximum is 9G. Correct. The ceiling is designed for the comfort and safety of all participants. Chun's face did something that Vaxter's cultural database identified as a smile. Understood, sir. Will there be any adjustments for species from higher gravity worlds? Vaxter consulted his datapad. Earth's gravity was listed at 10G. The human baseline is noted. You may find the initial settings ... comfortable. The program will compensate with increased difficulty and other parameters. What Vaxter didn't mention was that the file had been flagged by the medical staff. Humans apparently evolved as persistence hunters, capable of running prey to exhaustion over days. Their thermoregulation through liquid excretion was bizarrely efficient. Their skeletal and muscular systems were overdeveloped for a species of their technological level. Most disturbing was their psychological profile. Humans seemed to find stress not debilitating, but motivating. The cadets entered the gauntlet at 0600 hours. Monitoring stations tracked their progress through a maze of corridors, obstacle courses, and combat arenas. The facility's AI, Aria, managed environmental conditions and simulated threats. By hour 6, the Venetian cadets were struggling with the temperature fluctuations. By hour 12, 2 Thraxians had requested medical extraction after gravity pulses disrupted their equilibrium. The program was proceeding normally. Then Aria sent an alert to the command center. Drill Sergeant Vaxter, we have an anomaly. Cadet Chen has completed Sector 7. Kuz's scales rippled confusion. Impossible. Sector 7 is scheduled for Day 5. He's been in there for 14 hours. Confirmed, sir? He's eliminated all combat simulations in that sector and is requesting access to Sector 8. Vaxter rushed to the monitoring station, his forearms pulling up holographic displays. The screens showed Chen moving through obstacles designed for Day 6 acid rain simulations, 095G gravity fields, hostile terrain navigation. The human wasn't just completing them. He was jogging through them while humming something his translator couldn't decode. Aria, increased difficulty parameters for Cadet Chen. Authorization Vaxter 7 Alpha. Acknowledged. Implementing. The AI raised the gravity in Chen's sectors to 098G, dropped oxygen to 18%, and increased temperature to 38 degrees Celsius. Chen loosened his uniform collar and continued. By hour 30, Chen had reached scenarios designed for the final day. Other cadets were still in Day 1 protocols, most of them sleeping in designated rest zones. Chen hadn't stopped moving. Assistant Drill Sergeant Krelix, a methodical Zintari, approached Vaxter with mounting concern. "Sir, his vital signs are ... normal. Elevated heart rate, heavy respiration, but well within safe parameters. He's sweating profusely, but humans apparently do that. Temperature regulation. What about psychological stress markers? That's the disturbing part, sir. His cortisol levels are elevated. But his neural scans show patterns our database flags as enjoyment. The human appears to be having fun." Vaxer's scales turned deep purple alarm. "Send me in. I need to assess this directly." The drill sergeant entered the gauntlet, his combat exoskeleton powered on. He found Chen in Sector 12, the final arena. Fighting 3 simultaneous combat drones programmed with lethal force settings reduced to non-lethal. Chen moved with efficient brutality, using the environment as a weapon, redirecting drone attacks into each other. "Cadet Chen, halt." The human stopped mid-strike, snapping to attention despite his sweat-drenched uniform and elevated breathing. "Sir." "Yes, sir." "You've been in here for 57 hours?" "Yes, sir." "The program is designed for 7 days with rest periods." "I understand, sir. I thought the point was to complete it, not to take our time." "Sir, if my math gravity is lighter than home, the oxygen is cleaner than most Earth cities, nothing in here is actually trying to kill me. This is honestly easier than my high school's wrestling camp." Bixtera's scales cycled through colors he didn't have names for. "Your high school training camps are worse than military endurance programs? Sir, Earth is what you call a death world. We evolved there. This is just a workout." The drill sergeant's mind raced through implications. If this was a standard human, what would their elite soldiers be capable of? What had the galaxy invited into its military? Chen wiped his forehead. "Sir, permission to complete the final sector? I'd like to shower and see if the mess hall is open. I've been craving real food for 2 days. 2 days. You haven't eaten?" "There were nutrient stations and rest zones, sir, but I didn't want to lose momentum. Humans can go about a week without food if we have water. It's not comfortable, but it's doable." Vaxter made a decision that would ripple through military academies across the galaxy. "Cadet Chen, you are to report to medical immediately. Then you will debrief with command staff. We need to recalibrate our understanding of human baseline capabilities." "Yes, sir." "Did I do something wrong, sir?" "No, Cadet. You've done something terrifying. You've shown us what a death world species considers normal." Zhang jogged toward medicals, till jogging. After nearly 60 hours, Vaxter sent an urgent message to Galactic Command. Human integration protocols require immediate revision. Standard training parameters insufficient. Recommend specialized programs and reassessment of human combat potential. Also recommend we stay on humanity's good side, the monitoring station. Arya logged the incident with a notation that would become famous in military circles. Human completed week-long program. In 57 hours, 43 minutes, subject reported experience as not bad and lighter than high school gym class. Recommend humans be classified as endurance specialized warrior class. Further recommend keeping them well-fed and content. The galaxy was learning an important lesson. Earth hadn't produced survivors despite being a death world. It had produced survivors because it was a death world. And now those survivors were their allies. Vaxter's scales settled into a resigned shade of blue. He had 7 more human cadets arriving next month. The gauntlet was going to need an upgrade.